Hello friends and neighbors, welcome to this video about your Rio Crossing community. I'm Ray Harwood, and today I want to talk with you about a project that has been in the planning stage for most of 2019 and that will likely be ongoing for a couple of more years. I like to call it the Community Landscape Revitalization Program. Any longtime Rio Crossing resident knows that the trees and shrubs here have not quite thrived over the community's 15-year time span. I've only been living in Rio Crossing since the summer of 2016, but I can tell from the satellite imagery that I've got from several sources that trees, shrubs, and other foliage have not survived well here, with considerable loss, especially in the 2012 to 2015 timeframe. Some of the change has been more recent. The pictures you're seeing now are the ones I took right after a couple of weather events in the last couple of years. In the summer of 2017, we lost about 20 trees due to high winds, following almost 3 inches of rain in a rather short amount of time. Then in the summer of 2018, we lost 16 more trees right after another onslaught of rain and wind, followed shortly after that by even 4 more trees that we identified as unstable and in danger of falling, and these were removed as a safety measure. In researching the condition of our landscape, the City of Avondale provided me the drawings that you're seeing here. These are from the landscape plan submitted by the developer of Rio Crossing all the way back in 2003 and 4 and subsequently approved by the City of Avondale. In my discussions with the city, I found that it is their expectation that the layout of trees and other vegetation will be maintained in essentially this approved configuration for the life of the community. Recent inventories of trees and shrubs clearly shows that the association has allowed the landscape configuration to be reduced over the last 15 years or more. Some of this reduction has been caused by attrition, the loss of trees and shrubs due to severe weather, disease, and other natural causes. But much of the reduction has actually been caused proactively by decisions made by previous association boards to thin out or remove certain plants. Now, while those decisions may have seemed prudent at the time and for a variety of reasons, we now know that any removal or loss of vegetation should be followed up with replanting and rejuvenation of the landscape. This expectation not only comes from the City of Avondale, based on their approval of the developer's landscape plan, but I've heard from many of you, my Rio Crossing friends and neighbors, that you want Rio Crossing to still be lush and green like it was 10 to 15 years ago. That is what the Community Landscape Revitalization Project is intended to do. While your association board now is attempting to drive this project forward, along with several other smaller projects, there are a few things that we don't want to do. First, we don't want to rush into a quick fix project. Taking this approach could put us back in the same predicament that we're in now. Trees and shrubs that will fail again in another 10 years or so and require yet another remediation project. On the other hand, we can't afford to simply ignore this issue either. Nobody wants the Rio Crossing common areas to deteriorate into a brown, barren wasteland. Second, we don't want to just plant new trees and shrubs without ensuring that the ground is properly prepared so that the new plants have a reasonable chance for long-term survival and can thrive to the maximum extent possible, considering the Arizona climate and the Rio Crossing terrain, soil composition, and irrigation needs. To help with this, a committee was formed to develop several themes to consider, each with its own pros and cons. More on that in a minute. Third, if at all possible, we do not want to increase the quarterly assessments or to require a special assessment in order to fund this project. For this to happen, this project will likely need to be spread out over several years, and though the reserve fund is currently in a very healthy condition, it may have some negative impact over time. The reserve fund will need to be monitored and maintained in good condition, possibly by adjusting some other budget items. And lastly, your board does not want to do this project in a vacuum. We need your input. We want the owners and residents of the community to have a part in the review and selection of the vegetation themes developed by the committee that I mentioned earlier. I'm going to give you some brief information on those themes along with some links to more information on each theme. I'd ask you to please spend some time, from a couple of minutes if you're the typical busy person, to as much time as you'd like if you have the time and interest, and get a good idea of which of these themes you'd most like to see in Rio Crossing. If you can, talk with your neighbors and share the links to the videos and other resources. We want the entire community to be involved. Then, find the survey links and tell us what you think. The survey links will be on the RioCrossingHOA.com website and several other places, including the description of this video. While we hope to leave the survey open for as long as possible, we hope you'll jump right in and give us some early feedback. Please take a look at those themes. Here we go. The high color theme is composed of contrasting materials and colors and features an emphasis on brightly colored flowers and foliage with ever-blooming and long-season blooming plants. The semi-tropical theme has lush summer trees with plenty of color and character and features deep green foliage with a mix of evergreen and deciduous trees with both seasonal and ever-blooming plants. The Southwest theme is designed to mimic the beauty of local nature and plants, with a preference for similarity within small areas and more progressive diversity throughout the community. Vegetation will also contain some evergreen and deciduous varieties among the desert-friendly and more water-conservative species. Here's a link to an article on our website where you can find links to conceptual videos for each theme. After taking a look at each video and any other resources provided there or in subsequent postings, we encourage you to provide your input in our Community Landscape Revitalization Survey. Thank you, and we look forward to your input.